What do we know, everybody? Well, right now I'm moving our new shipment of feeder cattle into their new home. Got a pen all set up for them, got feed in the pen for them, or feed in the bunk I should say. We got these things in last night. They come out of Oklahoma, and they are every bit of southern cattle. They ran right off the trailer, just wild as could be, so we let them sit down here overnight to kind of calm down a little. And got a nice frame, a little fleshy, which is pretty typical of what we get from down south. And they also have ears. They were kind of told us they wouldn't have the big ears, but they do get the big ears, which it is what it is. You expect ears from the south. And if you're wondering why we don't want ears up north here, frostbite. It gets cold. Doesn't really affect us near as much with the feedlot cattle, but hell, with the smaller ones it causes some issues. But oh well, it is what it is. You kind of knew what you were getting, but that buyer did say that they had tiny ears, and these are not tiny ears compared to what we have up here. Oh well. Now if you're watching this, kind of take note here. I'm not shouting at them, not yelling at them. I'm not coming out here with a paddle or a whip or a flag. Just nice and gentle. Maybe give them a little bit of a shh now and then. We figure out, you let these things calm down and you move them gently like this. When you go to work them, you can move them gently like that again. They'll cooperate with you and everything works great. It's when you get loud, get aggressive with them, then they want to get mean, they want to get stubborn, and nothing wants to work. So, gentle handling. Move nice and slow with them too. No sense in moving too fast. Nice and easy. Good boys. You make sure you stay in their line of sight too. You can move to the left or to the right and get them to move the direction that you need them to go. Real easy. There's a guy I heard talked about trying to move cattle in a corral. And he talked about guys putting way too much pressure on these cattle and they bunch up and then they flare out. So you take it nice and slow like this, the cattle know where they gotta go and they'll move. They just gotta move slow. So if you keep light pressure on them, not let them turn back, they'll move exactly where they need to go. You can see way up there we got a log jam going through the gate. So we'll stand back here, let them do it on their own thing. Don't put too much pressure on them. Make sure they can't turn back through the drain here. But they'll all move in nice and easy. Good dog. Cooper there is kind of finally figuring all this out. Kind of figuring out where he's got to stand so that they don't come back. There we go. They're hungry and I got to get them off the bunk. I'll walk over this way. Well, I got everything in, but I had to turn back, so we'll go down here and get these two guys. I'm gonna walk way over here to keep my distance from them, so they don't try to run all the way down the alley. There we go. Had a few start running back out, and now everything is in. Out exploring their new home. They found the feed bunk, which you always hope. Sometimes they don't. They found their water. So they're going to be happy little campers. Oh, it's always nice when things work. And Cooper, when I first started here, Cooper was just miserable with these cattle. He thought his only job was to bark at them and rile them up and make them move whatever direction. Well, I've been working at him, and I'm getting him to where he can stand in one area, walk down one area, bridge a gap, and he's figuring this out. So when we're moving cattle, or when I'm moving cattle, I should say, he does really, really well. He knows what he's supposed to do. I can kind of point to an area and he'll go there. He doesn't quite know how to guard a gate yet or anything like that, but he's getting better. But you look at these cattle here. 180 head of mixed steers, and we'll see how these ones turn out. But I am not happy with the ears on these things, and that's just me being picky. It is what it is. I mean, it's one of those deals where the guy told us they weren't going to have big ears, and they come with big ears. But it's just a little thing. And the boss man's been buying these things down south because they're a whole lot cheaper than the cattle up here. Now, personally, I think the cattle up here, they kill better. They grade better, is what I should say. But, oh well. Every one of our cattle now has come from south of Nebraska. We got one pen, which is over here in pen 6. They come out of Kansas. Pen 1, I believe, was Arkansas. And the rest of them are either Kansas or Oklahoma, I believe. The last one's here from Oklahoma. So, oh well. Oh well. So, in closing, gentle cattle handling is key. It is easy. It's not hard to do. A lot of people don't grasp the concept, but I assure you it's pretty simple once you really kind of understand it. Understand the cattle's flight zones, where they can see you, where they can't see you. Understand what they respond to. And where I come from, in ranch territory, we handle cattle very gently, very easy. Nice, easy movements. Everything worked just peachy. When I started hauling cattle, me and the guys that I hauled with, we were the same way. We did everything gently and easy, minimal use with a hot shot. Everything went smooth. But then we started going to feedlots and looking at a lot of these feedlots and seeing how these guys handled cattle, and it was just insane to me. One major feedlot that I went to on a fairly regular basis, these guys were issued hot shots right out the gate. Their cowboys were issued hot shots. They were loud, they were aggressive, they buzzed the heck out of these cattle, but that's how they moved those cattle, and that's all the cattle responded to. If you did not use that buzzer to try to get them on the trailer, they would not move. Been out in Wyoming at Fall Run, and they got kids on horses that are glorified wranglers, in my opinion. I mean, they got horses, their parents bought them, they're wearing $400 boots and $500 hats and $100 plus jeans, and they're there to be on a horse and look cool and feel cool. That's it. They have no clue how to handle cattle, and they're at there beating the heck out of them and yelling at them and screaming at them, and you know, all the while I'm thinking to myself, I gotta haul these things 700 to 1,000 miles, and you're gonna do that to them right out the gate? This is just miserable. But when you handle cattle like that, they get wild, they get aggressive, and then that's what they end up responding to. So, gentle handling is easy. It is key. Like I say, with these cattle, if I'm the one that unloads them, if I'm the one that brings them to the pen and I handle them gently all the way through, then when we go to work these cattle, they handle gently all the way back, all the way through the chute. Everything works peachy. When we go to reimplant these cattle, it's the same way. If I can stay gentle and consistent with these cattle all the way through, my life is immensely easier than having to go through with a rattle paddle or a flag or, all forbid, a buzzer to get them to do anything. So keep that in mind. It's really simple. It's really easy to do. But like I say, a lot of feedlots are a lot more aggressive than what I believe they need to be, just because of how they start these cattle out. So at any rate, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoy making them. It's always fun to move these cattle around. As always, thank you guys for watching.